Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reacting to a video called Stockholm Vacation Travel Guide. Sweden, I think it's a very, it's a beautiful country from what I've seen. I think most people, when you're planning a vacation to Sweden, I think you would have to go to Stockholm. I actually do not know if, the only places that you can actually travel internationally to Sweden are to Stockholm. I'm not sure. Maybe there are some places up north. Maybe I think that's where you can see the Northern Lights. But however it is, I think you have to visit a country's capital. So of course it's gonna be Stockholm obviously. But I don't really know what can you do over there. I know that obviously it's a beautiful city, but I know can you is it known for its shopping or museums? I would expect so, right? It's a very old town. But I'm excited, so let's check it out and comment, like, and subscribe.
Just a 2-hour flight from London is Sweden's sparkling capital, Stockholm. This Scandinavian treasure is made up of 14 islands on an archipelago where the Baltic Sea meets Lake Mälaren.
I wonder if you have people that live there, or do they have a particular archipelago that it's that's my favorite one. Oh, that's a beautiful lake.
Stockholmers tenderly call their city Beauty on Water. And despite being spread across the Stockholm archipelago, it is still one of the easiest cities in Europe to navigate.
Because it has a lot of bridges.
Connected by a network of 57 bridges, Stockholm is a joy to explore on foot. Though any local will tell you, the best way to get around is on 2 wheels.
I want a bike. I'm gonna disagree a little bit with that. I'm no, I'd rather walk or just take a city bus or something.
Start your adventure in Gamla Stan,
what
the
is
medieval
that?
old town where Stockholm was founded in 1252.
That's crazy. It's
Drift
so cool.
through narrow cobblestone streets, which have changed little in 750 years.
Oh.
Thanks to Sweden's...
I'm wondering if they have buildings that are that old. Listen, it's maintained basically almost the same.
Neutrality during the Second World War, Stockholm's medieval treasures have remained pristine.
Okay, not just wars. I think time in particular, it damages a lot of things. Like weather.
But this city is more than just elegant bricks and mortar. It is a city built on ideas.
Oh, that's nice.
At the Nobel Museum, learn about the legendary minds that put Stockholm on the map and join in
I constantly forget about the Nobel Prize, and so yes, of course they have a museum.
the celebration of visionaries from across the globe. Rest and replenish in Stortorget, Gamla Stan's historic central square. While you're here, partake in fika, the languid Swedish ritual of slowing down and enjoying coffee and baked treats.
What is that? Oh my god, okay.
Pay a visit to the official residence of the King of Sweden, the Royal Palace.
Does he actually live there, or is it in name is a royal residence, but he doesn't actually live there? Can you
Marvel at
and can you actually visit as in I'm visiting as in going inside?
the commanding Baroque style structure
Apparently you
and
can.
take a tour through some of its 600 rooms.
Some of them. So obviously some of them are close because they live there, the royal family.
If you're hoping to catch a glimpse of the royals, you may have more luck if you take the scenic hour-long voyage to Drottningholm Palace.
Okay, another palace.
Serving as a summer retreat for most of the 18th century, the royal family now spend most of their time here, and it's not hard.
See, I was saying, the other is in name, but this is where they actually live, and I can you actually visit as in I'm walking the halls and I'll encounter the king? Probably not, but
To see why. Perched on the edge of Lake Mälaren and surrounded by immaculate gardens, Drottningholm Palace.
It's so funny how the gardens, obviously they're not the same, but it reminds me of Versailles, as in there's the little trees, and then you can see the palace in the background. They're quite similar, palaces in general.
Is a regal oasis.
Wow, that looks like an amazing
gilded
sculpture.
library and Baroque bedchamber where past queens once escaped the pressures of their royal duties.
Oh my god, what's that, a crib? That looks crazy. I'm wondering if like the actual like the royal family that lives there in this day and age, have they remodeled and do they have like more modern rooms?
Travel back into the 21st century in Norrmalm, a downtown area brimming with historic and modern attractions.
Okay, I love that.
Indulgent shopping options, and some of Stockholm's culinary favorites.
Like what? That looks
The beloved
good.
Swedish sense of style is on display everywhere here, even down to the simplest cafes and shops.
Like very simple, that's like Swedish style.
This legendary design prowess has resulted in a city of balance where modern creations melt seamlessly into historical masterpieces.
But this one looks very modern. Like I do not know what that is, but it looks
At
modern.
the Medieval Museum, discover how Sweden's first inhabitants laid the foundations of one of Scandinavia's finest cities.
Oh my god, I love that.
What was born as an outpost to defend the country from invasion became a gleaming capital characterized by elegance and sophistication.
Oh, I wanted to see it from the outside. Is that
Take
it?
a 10-minute walk to the Nationalmuseum and delve through time into an era where art and creativity began to flow through Stockholm's
That one reminded me a little bit of the Met, I would say. It reminds me a little bit of the Met.
unique identity.
Yeah, like the layouts and stuff.
Before leaving Norrmalm, have a bite to eat with the locals in the city's living room, King's Garden.
The King's Garden. Oh wow, that's an incredible
Discover
fountain.
another leafy escape just minutes from downtown on the island of Djurgården, Stockholm's greenest island.
Is it an island as in I have to actually, like, do I have to take a boat to get there or can I get there by bridge?
Was once the king's private hunting grounds.
Oh,
Today, this
okay.
woodland paradise is sprinkled with historical attractions and some of the city's best museums.
It looks beautiful.
At the Vasa Museum, gaze up the
Vikings?
most powerfully armed warship of the 17th century.
Okay, not Vikings.
Laden with bronze cannons, the Vasa was a richly decorated symbol of the power of King Gustavus, the
Was he the one that united Sweden?
Lion of the North. However, this top-heavy warship capsized just minutes into its maiden voyage and
Okay.
vanished into the depths of
My-
Stockholm Harbour for 330
Okay, that's bad. It looks kind of small. I don't know.
Tunes and the smell of freshly spun cotton candy to Sweden's oldest theme park, Gröna Lund.
Oh my god, it's like Disneyland.
This magical waterfront attraction has delighted thrill seekers of all ages since 1883.
Oh my. Hopefully they replace like the equipment at some point.
Take a musical journey down memory lane at ABBA, the museum.
They have a
A
museum?
celebration of the super troopers who took the world by storm. This museum
Okay, that's
showcases
cool.
costumes, memorabilia, and concert footage of the 70s pop sensations.
I hope they have a museum. A lot of LeMay.
For a more contemporary look at Swedish pop culture, set a course for the island of Södermalm. Overflowing with eclectic cafes, bars, and vintage shops, this area makes style look easy.
A lot of people.
Shop fashion and food at Hornstull Market, or be inspired by the ever-changing exhibits at Fotografiska.
Oh my god. That looks incredible. I would love to visit that.
Cruise back across the bay to Kungsholmen and experience the local tempo in this residential quarter.
I've seen the sculpture of like Rodin's. I think that's Rodin, and I've seen like 3 sculptures of same like they're very similar sculptures in different places.
Though this island isn't just apartments and coffee shops, it is also home to one of the most striking pieces of architecture in the city skyline.
That's
Topped
it? What
with
is
3
it?
golden crowns, the spire of Stockholm City Hall dominates the horizon.
Oh, it's a city hall. What's it with the star?
Step into the grand and imposing Blue Hall, which hosts the Noble Banquet Dinner each year.
Oh, that's where they
Then
make.
in the
Oh my god, that's
Golden
incredible.
Hall, admire the shimmering Queen of Lake Mälaren, a beloved symbol of Sweden.
Do you know what? I have no idea what that is, but I would love to visit.
Stockholm is a city which perfectly encapsulates the 2 vital ingredients of Swedish magic: sophistication, and simplicity.
Oh, that's nice. Oh my god, they have like an actual crown.
Leading the way in design and innovation, yet forever faithful to its historical riches. This beauty on water ebbs and flows to its own rhythm. A rhythm that inspires the mind and stirs the soul.
Were those like the city gates? At night, like, this must be incredible. With all the little lights. I love it. And the little cobblestone streets. Okay, those last few clips of like the city, like late, I think it was like, it wasn't nighttime, it was more like a sunset situation, sort of like at dusk, and it looked incredible. Like, oh my god, I would go to visit like so badly, and especially like at that, like maybe you would like go up there. I don't know how, like usually in Sweden and in Stockholm specifically, like what's the normal time, usual time, I wouldn't say normal, just usual time to like go to dinner. But I would love to go like grab dinner at this sort of like time, because I think like the city, it's so beautiful, you know, at that specific like time of the day. I think all places, well, you know, not that it depends clearly on like the time of the year or something, but I think usually like cities that are like what they call like magic hour, like not that this was a specific like magic hour, but it's just like this sort of like the soft sunset, like it looked so beautiful, and I think it just adds something like magical to like to a place, into a city, that, and it looks very different from just walking. I think cities have that, it's like they're like living things, and if you can walk by like any street at like, I don't know, 9 a.m. and it's going to be very different. It's going to feel very, very different from walking in that same street at like 8 p.m. or like at 12. Like cities are like they're constantly like changing, and I don't know if it's just like the time of the day, you know, like the light of like the sky, and you know, the nighttime, and different sort of like factors. But they do look very different, and it's like that's what you should always like spend if you're spending, like, I know that obviously if you're on vacation, like, oh, I'm not gonna have the chance to like actually experience everything, but you know, you should definitely like walk through like places and to different streets at like different times of the day, just so you can really do see the difference. But I love that, and they looked like, I don't know, it was like little cafes or maybe restaurants. That's what I was saying, like, oh, I would love to like go dinner there, because it looked beautiful, but not just lunch, dinner specifically. The other sort of like my favorite part was probably like the museums. Like they look so incredible. I think like I'm a little confused about when they say like, oh, it's the island. In that island there's like the city hall, and you have like this particular museum, and it's like, I understand that they're interconnected with like bridges, but can you like, are there some islands that you can only get there like with a boat? Are the bridges sort of like, you know, made out of metal and stone and brick, and they're not like those mobile bridges where you can't just, you know, they sort of like close it down, and you have to, like, if you want to go from one place to the other, you have to grab like a ferry, and they constantly have the ferries passing through. Like, is it one of those situations, or is like, no, all the bridges are, you know, they're not movable, like we don't open or close them, they're constantly there? Or is it also like a third option, which is like most islands are interconnected, but there's like several, or maybe like a few islands where you can only get there just, you know, by grabbing a boat or a ferry? Like, I would love to know, because I think I'm a little confused about the whole situation, because apparently if the fact that you call them, like, people know the islands, so it's like, oh, this is the island whatever, like I can't remember the name, but you know, it's not actual as in like places, which I think are more common, I think, with like neighborhoods. I think when you're talking about a city, I think it's more common, you know, talking from the perspective of someone that lives there, not you as a tourist, that if you would come to ask someone like, oh, have you been to, I don't know, like the Bronx? It's like, oh, yeah, sure, like this, I'll tell you how to get there. You know, this is very, obviously this is a very like general idea, but you know, it's more like neighborhoods, or I don't know, like Notting Hill. Like you would say places and neighborhoods, but you wouldn't actually go and say, oh, have you been to like this island? It's like, well, yes, most cities do not have islands, or otherwise, you know, they're inside an island. But I think this is a bit different, and the fact that they actually refer to it, to the places as like, oh, this is the island where the city hall is. does that mean that Swedish people in Stockholm, well, specifically citizens of Stockholm, do they just refer to places as in like with the island? Oh, I have to get there to whatever, like this island, and you wouldn't say like the neighborhood. And also, it's a lot of islands. So, do you have in your mind? I think it was like 50. I think it was 56. I think, or archipelagos. It's not maybe not an island. I don't know. I don't know the right geographical term. But would you like do you just go and refer to like this list of 50 islands, and I can name them at the top of my head? Because I would imagine like those are a lot of places to remember. Even if you are from a place like born and raised, like that's a lot of like wow, that's a lot of places. No, I haven't counted like the others. Like, can you name like 50 places in your hometown? Is like or the place where you live? It's like oh my god, I don't know. Like, I haven't checked to see if like that's I'm putting like way too much pressure into this, or is it normal? Yes, you're not constantly counting them, but I know it seems like excessive. Seems like a lot. It's like I actually have no idea what island you're referring to. But let me show it to me on a map and I'll tell you how to get there. Because it looks very like daunting. It's like a lot of islands and they look like quite like big because there's like so many of them that I would expect Stockholm to be just like this huge place. It doesn't, well, no, I don't really get the sense of like how big it is. But it looked big. So I don't know if Stockholm I think is bigger than I was expecting just because of the sheer like massive thing of there's like so many islands, so it is like okay, so it's like how big is it in like in compared to a city, is it compared to I don't know London or Berlin, like how big is it, like is it smaller, is it bigger? Because I got the sense, at least that's what I was previously thinking, is that Stockholm it's not that big, because I know that not a lot of Sweden in general, like it's not a place, it's not a country that has like a lot of inhabitants. But this is making me rethink this. It's like Stockholm looks huge, so I don't know. I'm like a little confused about that whole part. But yes, I would love to visit. I think the museums. I think those would be like at the top of like my list. The whole like medieval one, that one looked incredibly cool. I always say like the palaces, yes, and I want to know like not to get the glimpse of like I was walking and I saw like the royal the prince. No, but just again, see how like royals actually live. Like I think that not that you actually again, because I think they show you like the apartments where they don't actually live, and areas that those areas are obviously closed, because that would be like a gross invasion of privacy. Because at the end of the day, yes, they're the royals and they're the royal family, but of course they deserve their own privacy. So it's not that they're gonna show random people like where they live. But so, yes, I would love to see like how royals lived, even back in those days. Everything looks so like I don't know, like opulent. That is like I would also want to know like have they redecorated? I that would be just me being curious. But of course that one, because I think that's very important. Just the palace in general, palaces tend to be very beautiful. So yes, of course. The whole like island that apparently like it was like this huge wood that were like the king's like hunting grounds. That place looked gorgeous. There were like other things to do, but I would love to go to a hike like in that wood because it looked beautiful. I don't know if that's a thing, but I would definitely go there. The whole where they make like the noble like banquet, that looked incredible. I would love to know more about the building, because it was like made with bricks, and I don't know, like I want to know the history behind like what was this, like was it like a train station? It looked, I don't know if it didn't look like a train station, but I'm wondering, like I hardly doubt that they just built that in order to serve as a noble banquet like place. No, I'm guessing it was something else, and they just sort of like have remodeled throughout the years. But I would love to know what is it, because it looked like a very interesting structure. So that would be definitely on top of my list. And the whole Abbey Museum, like that looked fun as well. But I think I would, before that, I would definitely go to the amusement park, because it's like, okay, it's so old. I want to know if like there are older things, like they haven't like, no, we have made like there were other attractions throughout the years, like they have changed it, they have remodeled, and they have changed the things. Because otherwise I'd be a little scared of like going there. Like, oh, it looked fun, but you're telling me this is from the 1800s. I wouldn't, like, it doesn't give me great comfort in, I'm not getting up on that roller coaster. If it was something more from the 1800s, probably not. I think they used different materials back in those days. But I would definitely I would go to amusement park because it looked fun. So I think that would definitely be on top of my list before I don't know, with the museums, yes. But before I don't know, there are other museums that I think I would like. I think I want to go to the amusement park, but the amusement park first, because I don't know, it's an amusement park and it looks fun. So I think that would definitely would go there. And that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.